In the middle of Iowa is a tiny town of around 10,000 people called Storm Lake. It's a blink and you'll miss it kind of place.
We are in northwest Iowa, the middle of nowhere basically. A lot of corn and soybean fields around us and hog and turkey buildings. This is what we would call the protein center of Iowa.
It's an oasis in the middle of a desert. I guess that's the best way of saying it. It's a diamond in the rough.
It takes me 7 minutes to drive from the northwest side of town to the southeast side of town.
Even though there are only 10,000 people in Storm Lake, each one of them has a story, and we're trying to tell all those stories.
We don't have mountains, and we don't have seas, and we don't have bright lights and fast cars. We used to have clean air and clean water and honest and open government, and we're losing all that. And people don't care. And so somebody has to care. And somebody has to say, this ain't right. Yeah, right? Somebody has to say something, so we did. My name's Art Cullen. I'm the editor of the Storm Lake Times newspaper in Storm Lake, Iowa. My brother John started the paper, so he's our fearless publisher and media tycoon. John's wife Mary does a recipe column for us, and Dolores, my wife, is our feature writer and photographer. And also my son Tom is a reporter here. He's 24, and he's in 2 years become probably one of the best reporters in Iowa, in his father's humble opinion and unbiased opinion. They're saying biased in back of me. We're a hyper-local community newspaper. We sell about 3,000 copies twice a week. We're not the New York Times or the Washington Post. We do not do reporting on Donald Trump or North Korea or Afghanistan. We're not a highbrow newspaper. We're just a community newspaper. We run puppies on the front page and babies and four-leaf clovers. That's the stuff we trade in.
Okay, here's a semi-accident.
That's what we're talking, yeah. Okay. Oh, that's a fairway truck. That's a good one.
Yeah, this is all ice cream, and then you've got your guy.
See that, ice cream?
Despite the onslaught of social media and things like that that offer alternatives to the newspaper, the print edition, we think that the community newspaper is still the force that binds a small community together. Google doesn't care about Storm Lake, Iowa. Yahoo News doesn't care about Storm Lake, Iowa. But the Storm Lake Times cares about Storm Lake, Iowa.
Because people have got to know whether or not their president is a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
I was in the first post-Watergate class in 1975. And that year, the journalism program was the second largest major right behind business. It just shows you how interested people were in journalism at that time. And of course, we all thought we could change the world. We could end the Vietnam War, we could bring down Richard Nixon, and we could change the world for the better. You know, that's really why I got into journalism.
In 2015, father and son Art and Tom Cullen started reporting on a story of water pollution in their local area.
Iowa's far different now. It used to be a state of smaller family farms, and now it's a state of large family corporate farms that are farming 1,000 to 2,000 acres intensively with corn and soybeans. And so agriculture is greatly specialized, and there are huge environmental consequences that flow from it. The result has been improved drainage systems that deliver free-flowing nutrients away from the landscape toward rivers and lakes. And it also delivers those deadly toxins with it, nitrate and phosphorus, which cause all sorts of problems in humans.
3 local counties near Storm Lake were being sued for polluting the Raccoon River, the main source of drinking water for the state capital, Des Moines. The counties had deep pockets for their legal defence, but they refused to say who was paying their legal bills and why.
Our questions were how they were paying for the attorneys that were representing them in that case. They could have chose their county attorney, but they chose not to. They chose several law firms locally, statewide, and nationwide. So then we consulted with the Iowa Freedom of Information Council, and we said, are these records public? And they told us, yes, they are. So then that escalated into a 2-year legal battle to try and uncover the donors to this lawsuit.
We demanded to know who the donors were to this secret defense fund, and they refused to tell us over a 2-year period. And so we wrote a series of editorials talking about this lawsuit, talking about how it was being financed, and how dirty money, dirty dark money, is now seeping into our court system. And Iowa has always maintained itself as the cleanest court system in America. And we're losing all that now, just as we're losing our soil down the Mississippi River. It raised questions for us as to who was actually determining the future of our locally elected government. Was it the electors, or was it the Iowa Farm Bureau and the Agribusiness Association of Iowa and Koch Fertilizer and Monsanto? Who is running this state? Is it us, or is it somebody else? And it appears it's somebody else.
Art and Tom's reporting hit the world stage last month when their coverage won a Pulitzer Prize.
Nobody cared. They were all just ignoring us. And then we win a Pulitzer Prize, and all of a sudden, oh, Iowa has a water quality problem.
Prize goes to Art Cullen of the Storm Lake Times, Storm Lake, Iowa. Congratulations, Art Cullen.
A lot of people in America right now are trying to figure out what's going on in the heartland. People are sensing that there is something going on out here and that we've lost quite a bit out here. And I think that's maybe what the Pulitzer Committee was sensing.
I aspired to be my dad when I was a little kid in English class. I remember my dad would read through my essays and make them better, and I always wanted to be that good. So I guess that's what ties it all together.
If you want to make friends or be beloved by everybody in a small town, you shouldn't be a banker or a newspaper editor. I think it was Mark Twain who said the role of a newspaper is to afflict the comfortable and comfort the afflicted, and that's what we try to do.